Hello viewers, now let's solve this motion of projectile question. A particle is projected horizontally with speed 13 meters per second from a point high above a horizontal plane. Find the horizontal and vertical component of the velocity of the particle after 2 seconds. So we are asked to find the horizontal and vertical component of the velocity of the particle after 2 seconds. So see, this is the case of a body or a particle being projected horizontally, okay, from a point high above a horizontal plane. So now we're required to find the horizontal component of velocity and vertical component of velocity of the particle after 2 seconds. Now in this case, okay, where there is no angle of inclination, we're not required to calculate the time of flight, the range, or the maximum height. But we have that the particle is projected horizontally with speed 13 meters per second from a point high above a horizontal plane. So what that means is that the horizontal component of velocity of the particle will remain constant throughout the projectile motion because there will be no horizontal acceleration. So since there is no horizontal acceleration, then it means that the horizontal component of the velocity of the particle will remain constant throughout the projectile motion. So which means the horizontal component of the particle of the projectile after 2 seconds will be 13 meters per second. And that's the answer. Okay, so like I said, we have so for the first one to calculate, we want to calculate the horizontal component of the velocity of the projectile So like I said, now the horizontal component of velocity of the projectile remains constant throughout the projectile motion since there is no horizontal acceleration. So there will be what? The horizontal acceleration will be what? 0. That's what it means. So which means because the velocity is what? Constant throughout the projectile motion. So there will be no what? Horizontal acceleration. So in this, then we can now conclude that the horizontal components of velocity of the velocity of the projectile after 2 seconds is 13 meters per second. So what we have here is ux, which is horizontal component of velocity, is equals to 13 meters per second. So that's what it means. Okay, so then also we want to calculate the vertical component of the velocity of the particle after 2 seconds. Now, for vertical component of the velocity of the particle after 2 seconds, so in this case, we are going to have to use this equation. That is, we know that the time given is 2 seconds. Okay, this is when we talk about vertical motion. So for vertical motion, the initial vertical velocity will be equals to 0. So what I mean, so for vertical motion, Okay, so these are the information. The initial vertical velocity will be equals to what? 0. Then the final vertical velocity is what we are looking for, and that's the vertical component of the velocity of the particle after 2 seconds. And we know that the time given is 2 seconds. So we're going to make it, and also we know that the value of acceleration due to gravity will be negative in this case. Okay, and that will be, it will take negative 9.81 meters per second square, because we have the particle projected horizontally with speed u equals to 13 meters per second. Then the body fall back to the ground level. So at that point, or no, at that now, as it's going back to the falling back to the ground level, the value of g will be positive. But when we have the body projected vertically, so when it is vertical motion, the value of g will be negative. That is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so now, so in this case, let's set up the equation. So we are going to make use of Vy equals to Uy plus, now we're going to use minus Gt, okay? So we know that Vy is what we are looking for. This will be 0, then minus 9.81 multiplied by 2. Yes, the time given is what? 2 seconds. So what is 9.81 multiplied by 2? That will be 19.6. So this will be negative 19.62. Yeah, 19.62 meters per second. That is Vy. So this is the vertical component of velocity. So we can say that the vertical component, the vertical component of the velocity after 2 seconds, is minus 19.62, is minus 19.62 meters per second. So that's the answer to the question. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Bye bye.